this is the champion. This is the thing that I want, or like the 3 or 4 things that I'm going to play for the entire split. Karma feels like it's starting to lean into that kind of that history now. It was Orianna, now it does seem to be the Karma as well.
So, this Viego lock-in, I want to talk about it a quick about too, because both of these teams, but particularly XiaoHao, has been a massive supporter of the Viego pick. It's come back in real style for Weibo, and we saw versus top esports, he had some really fantastic early games, and some explosive team fights with that too. So, XiaoFang, taking that away, and yes, it has risen in popularity elsewhere in the LPL. I just think that of the players I think of, XiaoHao is the one who has really picked this one up. Top side of the map from Weibo, though, looks like it's likely to get locked in. We have the tank disruptive top laners of the Sensei and the Udyr, and we are leaving the bot lane now until last, most likely.
I mean, yeah, you mentioned that the bot lane was a huge kind of point of focus. Light and Crisp versus Abel and Ppgod, just such kind of, you know, like staples of the LPL. If you've been watching for a while, these guys have been around for a while. So this is an interesting kind of setup here that both teams kind of opting in to say, look, we want our top side sorted. We want to make sure we get the best possible top side. And it does mean that we are going to start to see now, what, 1, 2, 3, potentially even 4, if you count the Senna, 80 carry bans just kind of going to the wayside even more.
Yeah, and it gets a little bit strange, right? Because Senna is kind of in both roles. But a stat which I just want to hammer home on again. Crisp has lost every single game on engaged melee support so far. He's played Rel and Maokai and the Nautilus. He's played a couple of those games and he's lost every single one of them. I want to see Crisp on a counter-pick support if possible, but of course it's quite hard to tell what will happen now, with Abel and Ppgod being able to hold one of those picks until last. And we are losing so many 80 carry bans to the last kind of rotation. Ezreal's still up. We could see an Ezreal Karma actually in a flex away from that, so Chris could lock that towards the bot lane too. That could be something that they hold over their heads. What else have we got left? Maybe Sivir is getting to be higher priority now. Kai'Sa, of course, around. Zeri's around in the meta. There are still some picks and only one ban remaining.
Only one ban. See what they want to go for. The Nautilus, you mentioned it, can take it off the board there, especially with the Draven no longer available. Do you see the Xayah Rakan become a little bit more of a pick here? So the Rakan picked up here. Weibo, you got to pick your bot lane.
I would quite like to see the Ezreal. I think Light's Ezreal is one which I've been a big fan of in the past. You could also go towards something like the Kai'Sa as well, but I think the rest of your team would struggle to follow up on that one. I think Ezreal, and you can either look for the Ezreal Karma, or even you could lock in something like an Ezreal Ashe for hyper lane dominance in the bot side. I think that would work out quite well.
What do you want to go for? The Ashe seems to be the call for them now at the moment. You have 100%.
Okay,
ooh, the Nymeara going for a little bit more aggression, a little bit more engage as well. And honestly, I like this considering you already have the Karma and the Ashe for that little bit of kind of extra poke. I love this kind of setup coming out here from Weibo.
And the Ashe is very much here to control the very early levels of the game. Xayah's worst enemy is stuff which just kind of gets to poke her for free from range. She doesn't like playing against hyper range. So now, as we come into the early levels of the game, Light and Crisp, they have a chance to win the arms race in bot side against Abel and Ppgod. They cannot fail an all-in, though. If they don't get good poke down, Abel and Ppgod get a good single all-in with a good Rakan W, things could fall apart very quickly. And how OMG have played for so long has often been, can Abel and Ppgod stop snowballing out of control? That's a big win condition for them. So a lot of emphasis on how Crisp and Light play out this lane.
Yeah, and just seeing able to kind of, like I say, play out the lane, seeing how they're able to build on this bot side. And it's been, you know, again, for Weibo, they're a team that they have been, you know, they were in the World Finals. They were the team that, you know, obviously got smashed by T1. Let's not beat around the bush, but they have expectations now that, you know, you want to start contesting for a championship. You want to start pushing yourself to be a bit more of a contender, not just a flash in the pan. So I need to see them come out of the blocks really swinging here. And for OMG, like we said earlier, it's about finding who they are. They have got themselves some comfort back. They are going back to things like, obviously, they started this year with Starry, but they're going back to Abel, who's just been picking up some of the things that we've known and loved him for all this year. The Xayah, not something I've been particularly known for him, but we'll see what he's able to do as both these teams jump on the rip for our second series. we're back.
You know, I thought there'd be a slightly less delay before we
So
got
did
into
I.
first game. I was like,
So
oh
did
no,
I.
that was a great line getting into a second series of the game. I was like, I'm not going to talk for a while, am I? Huh.
No.
Well,
It was a longer transition. It kind of worked. It kind of worked. It was definitely a lot of silence, but it kind of worked.
It's okay.
We're still figuring it out.
Get to take a very short break as we get back out onto the Rift. And right, you're gonna have to forgive me for not exactly knowing how this bot lane matchup is going to work out, because both these champions we've seen quite a lot with in terms of the Ashe and the Nymeara to a certain extent too, but I've never seen them together in the same duo, and I've not played against it either in my own games. So basically I'm looking at Ashe as an individual champion, using that volley very early, using the Halo Blaze just as like you're seeing now. They blow the Guardian and just try and get a little bit of a HP trade, which means that you can wait until your second volley cooldown comes up and you can get control of the wave just like this. What that means is that you can get a little bit of extra presence on the wave for Nymeara, who is very, very low range. If you ever get to zone them off the wave, they don't get access to farm. You can start racking up with the extra XP passive from Nymeara as well and start to dominate the lane, and that's a missed W from Ppgod.
Oh, Lord Abel! Oh, Lord, thumb down indeed there, Chris, because that is a massive, massive loss. So not only is Abel now fully have to reset, this is a huge wave which is going to crash as well, and XiaoFang can't really do much. He's only a level 2 jungler, and even then he's a Viego. He's not exactly got the kind of tank stats to go for it, so really well done here by Weibo to just say, look, this bot lane is ours. These two champions don't really exist until level 3.
Yeah, and the Nymeara has really thrown OMG for a loop. That early levels is pretty much all Ashe. The failed all-in, though, from Ppgod and Abel, that's a massive, massive mistake. And now as, I mean, this level 1 Xayah, I think you just jump on the Xayah as they come back to lane. XiaoHao's in position for it.
Light looks like he's just going to position himself. Abel does pop the ghost, does flash away as well. But now he's without summoners and without a support. Great move here. They haven't even taken turret aggro. Oh my god, Weibo! You can't do that, man. This is a massacre.
That is really not how you want things to start. How many games over the years we have seen Abel and Ppgod be on this team have we seen them get blown out in early game, not respect the early levels, and lose their team games? This is not a new phenomenon. They snowball just as often, but you have no summoners now. You have a flash on Ppgod. This is going to happen again if you let it.
I mean, they can just hold the wave. The thing is that, yes, XiaoHao is losing jungle on the top side, but it does not matter. It literally does not matter because Abel is level 1. Let me repeat that. He is level 1, and there's more waves crashing into his sword. That is 3 plates and as many minutes.
They still have a heal on Chris. They have flashes. They can keep going.
They can keep going. The Viego is finally coming. XiaoFang did take a reset, but like, I mean, this bot lane's over. It's done. There's nothing you can do. You can never walk up to this.
And one of the big things is Nymeara is giving extra XP as well. They have a ward in the bush. Xiaohu's coming down. This is a massacre.
This is a massacre. This is an absolute brutalization right now. They will get damage down from Angel, who flashes in. They have to try and make this one work again. Look at the low health bars, though. Look at the amount of resources OMG had to put in there just to make sure Abel could hit level 2.
Clutch teleport from Angel very nearly bails out OMG, and it would have prevented the worst case scenario. But still, Light and Chris so far ahead of the game. Big thing which happened here as well is that Nymeara killing minions gives XP to her teammates around her too, which means that Light, Chris, and XiaoHao, they even get to kind of share some of that and keep up in some of the resources as they're farming the waves, proxying it behind the turret. You have a Dirk already just before 5 minutes into the game. One of the best laning items in the game now, with the changes to lethality not scaling up through the game anymore, but just giving you that flat armor penetration at all levels of the game. Abel and Ppgod, I'm sorry guys, this is not getting easier for you.
No, it is not. It is going to get harder and harder, but at the bare minimum, take what you can right now. You have a little bit of a respite to push into this one here. You can see all the wards they've put down on that bot side as well, just to try and stop XiaoHao from going for something like that again. And like I said, losing 2 camps from XiaoHao, you know, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter because you know just how hard this bot lane is going to be. I mean, you can't walk up to this ever. You're a full Dirk and boot. So not only are they going to be able to chase you down and do the damage, they are going to be able to kind of constantly keep ahead of you because they're just so much faster.
And now you're in a very difficult position because the wave is slow crashing in. You don't even get to crash the wave, and you get threatened all in.
just so difficult to see how you kind of go for it. But now that you know you have this permanent pressure in the bot side, XiaoFang has to go towards this bot lane. You see XiaoHao going, cool, I go for grubs. I get himself a nice little easy objective. There's nothing you can do because they can't even go for any kind of trade.
So you notice that Light wasn't using his Q on the wave either. He's just using the single target auto attacks, not using as much of it. He can start to trim out the wave now if he wants. XiaoFang needs to try and get the crash in here. Light doesn't have summoners. There is a slight option here, but he can't even flash forward for his own W right now.
Yep. I mean, they do have a flash on Ppgod. He may look for something, but the wave is being pushed in, and they're maybe hoping that volley or two will go for something. They
he
don't
misses!
land the CC. And that is kind of how this whole thing will go for the rest of the game.
But all of this, by the way, the last minute or so, is Light not just spamming abilities on the wave, holding it there and realizing, look, if you walk up, you die, so we can just hold this here and get massive advantages. They're 25 to 30 CS up, 7 minutes into the game. XiaoHao can sit in the same bush he brutalized them with at the very early levels of the game. This is going to be a full turret taken, maybe even before 8 minutes in the game.
I mean, there's nothing you can do. There is just nothing you can do right now. You're 30 CS down. You're constantly having to deal with XiaoHao and Xiaohu just constantly on top of your lane, like right now. And I mean, it's affecting everything.
It's level 6, level 3. The Nymeara XP has given them a huge window here. Angel's coming down, but they have to call 4 people down to defend their flailing bot lane.
This is literally like beating a dead horse here for Weibo, but they're still getting money out of it. I don't know why the horse has money in it, but it does. It's
infinite money glitch.
Infinite money glitch coming in here for Weibo. But I mean, like, it's such a great adaptation that we see now from Weibo to kind of say, cool, you went with the Rakan. We knew you were going to go Xayah Rakan. We went for full engage, full aggression, and it's worked perfectly.
Yeah, I guess Weibo are a really big fan of the Like a Dragon series. You know there's a new game they released called Infinite Wealth. They've actually just ported that in true body and spirit into League of Legends. And again, they haven't even broken this problem. They've just stopped it from getting to the worst possible scenario. There is a likelihood that the wave, you're going to have like level 6 all-ins. You're level 4 still in bot side without a cleanse. The Ashe arrow is up. You could even get dives getting onto the table, despite the fact that it's quite hard to do that with the power of turrets right now.
Okay, we know Weibo's doing well on bot side. We can pretty clearly see that as we go forward into this one.
We could talk about how well they're doing around bot side. Have you seen that they're taking a turret at 8 minutes 30?
Yeah, I was gonna say the fact that they have the grubs as well, just like they don't even have to take it, to be perfectly honest. They can let as many minions die to this as possible and let Light pick up as much gold as he can. But yeah, this is a 2,000 gold lead on the Nymeara compared to the Xayah. But now looking at the other side of the map, you're not out of options here for OMG. You can get back into this match, but you need to now start being creative. And I want to know, where do you want to see them maybe focus or look elsewhere? Because I think that bot lane it's gone now, so at least they have that nightmare over.
Well, the next step is not allowing a vision blackout from Weibo, because you've slaughtered bot lane. Do you want me to mention that again? We can talk about
I think I got it.
If you lose vision around the map now, Crisp and Light, they've been unlocked from their lane. You know that it's likely that they're heading towards topside. But if Crisp starts firing arrows from out of Fog of War, this game is done. You can see that Crisp is doing exactly that. Misses it, but it doesn't matter. Cube's under turret. He's dead.
I mean, this is... Now they're just transferring it. As much as I was like, how do you get back into this OMG? How do you do this? How do you do that? If Weibo's playing this clean with this kind of an advantage, I just don't know how you get back into it. But that is just so well done here by the side of Weibo to say, cool, we're going to force you to move around the map to us. You're not getting free time on a lane.
Okay, so big thing here is that they have just shifted towards topside. They don't have all of the ward coverage they need right now. They have some shallow vision, but there's a chance that maybe a flash out could punish them. They don't have level 6 on the Rakan just yet, which is a bit of a pain point for them. 2 levels down. This is such an absurd lead. I remember in earlier seasons of League, you know, before we had as much catch-up XP, so back in season 3, season 4, like that, you could get huge level leads if you slaughtered lane hard enough. You don't see that nowadays. This means so much more in the current season of League of Legends. And you can see that Light and Crisp, that again, not spamming abilities on the wave, and they're just trying to just... Oh, that's the ult.
There's the ult, there's the engage. They're still dealing without level 6s here on the OMG bot side, but they won't get the kill just yet, but they get pressure.
So we have Xiaohu coming up, but he's going to be taken out potentially. He might have to flash away. He does so. XiaoHao coming up as well. This is going to be a huge, huge fracas in the top side.
Yeah, more than a fracas. It's going to be more kills. As you can see there, Angel trying to jump onto Xiaohu, but XiaoHao right beside him. And look at Crisp. Crisp is like, come on then.
He's the AD carry now.
Yeah.
And now Angel without the flash.
Out of Carrier. Yeah. I mean, Angel going to now have to run away. He should be fine to try and get away from this. But, I mean, if they get more damage out to here, it should be a big issue for him. Teleport in. Angel is going to try and maybe burn down Xiaohu, but he just can't do it. And that is 5-0. And 2 turrets at 11 minutes.
Ladies and gents and people of all the identifications, this is... What has happened to the LPL today? What have we happened? What has happened? EDG walks up into the first series and slaps about anyone's legend, an absolute mess of a series. Now we're coming to our second one of the day, and look, OMG, we know that sometimes the bot lane falls apart like this, even with the counter pick, because they locked in that Rakan as the 4th pick. You kind of know that the Xia is likely to come in on that 5th pick. I just wonder if he should have gone towards something like an Ezreal, give up the bot lane pressure, scale up but still be able to safely farm. Xia cannot play versus a lot of this team composition if they are behind. And that's exactly what's happened here. And Angel walks up, tries to play a little bit like how Fisher did in terms of roaming late to the play, but having so much burst damage to clean up low health targets that it makes it worthwhile. That doesn't work out. And so early into the game, that is a 6,000 near enough gold lead for the side of Weibo. This is one of the most explosive games we've seen. Abel, he has his ult now, he has level 6, but he's 3 levels behind the Nymeara.
I love also the symmetry of 0-1-0, 0-1-0, 0-1-0. They've just moved that, you know, again, it's not just the bot lane kind of giving over kills or anything like that.
a Voltron of 0
Honestly. It's just code, man. It's just code. but like, yeah, like, I mean, it's just massive advantage. First items being completed. They're going to be able to contest around this dragon as well, so that's not going to be a problem in a minute or so. But, I mean, this is hard. This is just hard. And, you know, like, Weibo, I mean, props to them, but they got to keep their, you know, the kind of pressure on, in my opinion. They've got to make sure that they just, you know, and this is what I wanted to see. This is exactly what I said. I wanted to see Weibo be consistent. I wanted to see them really come in and try and hit home, and that's what they're doing in the first 13 minutes of this game.
And one of the really scary things is because you've had so much gold, Crisp has almost as much gold as the mid laners. This is an Ashe that will also have gold. You can see that volley starting to chunk him out. That's another arrow. It's not going to lead to another play. They hold the discipline, which I think is right there. But this is what happens when a Nymeara lane gets ahead. This is what happens when an Ashe lane gets ahead. We don't see the duo ever. So seeing them both in the same lane, achieving the same identity, very important here from Weibo, and a very confident bot lane performance. This is pretty much all we have to talk about because it has taken over the identity of the game.
It's just... How do you fight this? How do you come back onto this? They're able to do so much damage. Like, even there, like, normally, under any normal circumstances, of 14 minutes into the game, OMG coming in with the, you know, the spectral maul, or the spectral presence, and just kind of, or mist, excuse me. Too many spectrals.
It's the Harrowed Pass.
Harrowed Pass, sorry. I read the book recently, and that's why they actually have, like, there's like 6 different names for the mist, because they don't know what it is yet, and they discover it. But, I mean, under normal circumstances, you back away from that tower there. You just go, cool.
Yeah.
You know, can't take that, no problem at all. We walk away. But I mean, all 15 plates, 3 towers.
You knew that was happening. He backstepped.
He knew, but will he go down? That is the question. He is still healing. He is still shielding. He will finally go down. And that is a good start for OMG, but they need a lot more.
Oh, gosh. Not going to lie, Xiaohu's had a bit of a bad split so far. He's had a couple of moments like this where he's walked into the wrong angle. We've even seen it in this game, right? Where they went for the top lane dive, he got caught out, he had to flash backwards. This is not unknown to him either. It has Weibo occasionally been just light sighing, picking up the carry backpack, and then running all the way to the finish line. Normally happens later into the game. This happening this early is something. ZDZ is pop flash, Angel has no flash, and rather the Ghost rather, and he's probably going to get the solo kill.
I don't really have unless he tried to control and miss all of his abilities like he did there, but now he has the rest of his team to come in. So ZDZ won't be going down despite missing a couple of key abilities there, and the rest of his team shall bail him out just a little bit. But I'm sad, Nymeara. I'm very sad.
Why?
I'm very, very sad.
Why
so,
are you sad?
Weibo, we're on track for quite literally a perfect game. Because, and I could be wrong, but I don't believe they gave up a plate. They didn't give up any of the grubs. They had all 15 turret plates, and then Xiaohu died.
Ah, That's my goat right there, Xiaohu. Gotta earn those perfect games. You gotta do better than this.
I'm just like, come on, man. That could have been the perfect of perfect games, you know?
It's so hard to get perfect games now too, because you can just go in and snipe a single grub, or just it's so hard to do that. But still, not happening this game. Herald is going over. The fact that they have taken all 3 outer turrets without the Herald is absolutely insane. This just doesn't happen in modern professional league. This just doesn't happen like this. That's like the domination performance on the side of Weibo. You're getting huge items being hit. Yes, you have a couple of first items being hit from Cube and XiaoFang as well. Problem is, it's just the discrepancy, not just in terms of the AD carries, but we already mentioned it before. Crisp is actually going to be a threat in himself. Because he was also present for a lot of the towers being taken and the plates being shared over as well. Now the question is, you've broken the outer ring of towers. That's the easiest way to snowball the game. We have seen teams get huge advantages before and then not really know what to do to keep up the tempo, and then letting teams get back into the game with objective bounties. This is going to be a test of Weibo to make sure that they have the tools and the ability to keep pushing forward the tempo of the game and not allowing OMG to kind of break the chokehold.
I just want you to pan your eyes down
to
Abel and Light's items right now. And just, I mean, I don't really know exactly what Abel can do apart from just stay behind a million different layers of walls and whatnot to try and not die. He even had to pick up a sweeper because he knows that if he gets caught, he's insta-dead. They wouldn't even have to use a lot. They would just catch him and kill him. So this is, you know, you're just, I think this is great for Weibo. I think they're just able to go, cool, we have the turret pushing ability, we have all of the Ed and Eddies available to us and all the mini, the Void Mites that come with it. We just keep pushing it. They can't match us. Even if they do, what are they going to do about it?
And the thing is, right here, Crisp just goes and puts some vision behind the walls. They have 6 grubs, and they take 1 in a turret already, so they already are starting to force forward the next part of the game.
Oh, that was Angel's ult.
This is the ult, and this is going to be a disastrous series of plays out for OMG.
Oh, that's the second inner turret. You were talking about how teams sometimes they get a little confused, maybe, how they kind of push a game. Not Weibo. Weibo know exactly how they push a game. They're even going to put down the Rift Herald at 18 minutes to crack open this base. They could keep going. If they get more kills, Nymeara, this could be a 20-minute game, and that's what they're going to look for. They've got damage, but it doesn't do anything. It's not going to do anything at all. I think Xiaohao just going the complete wrong direction.
Where's he going with this?
Top tier 2, top tier 2, top tier 2. Yes, he got it. He got it. That's all that matters. And you take that turret as well. Look at this. This is insane. Weibo are literally playing, apart from Xiaohu, who killed himself, are playing perfect League of Legends.
This is the most dominant early game I have seen in a very long time. Even the driving test passed by XiaoHao is winning on so many different facets of life right now. Sets up the bot lane dive to get them ahead of the game. Returns again and realizes it doesn't matter if I'm dropping camps. Who cares? XiaoFang, yeah, he can get some extra CS up. It doesn't matter now. And now we finally get the resets through from Weibo. They've opened up an inhib in the mid lane, and most of the time early inhibs being taken can be a bit of an issue because is that effectively a cannon wave spawns every wave, or it doesn't without that, obviously. It also means that the wave will always be available to you as the defending team. But what this means now is that because you don't have any wave clear available to you right now that can kill these super minions, you can't defend your sideline turret. You can't defend the next dragons coming up. You are in such a disastrous position because Weibo can continually force plays with Ash arrows and everything else that as soon as these super minions come into mid lane, see Abel's answering that right now, you are not going to be able to defend this top lane or anywhere else on the map.
Well, I can tell you what's exactly happening.
Yeah.
Baron will spawn in 20 seconds, and then they will take the Baron. They will take the Baron. That is how it is. But I completely agree with you. Like, look how long it's taking Abel in that mid lane on the minimap to just clear that one super minion. And he doesn't even clear it properly. Like, it's still killing the wave. So you're not even getting a counter push really going for you right now. So Weibo, they don't even technically have to go for the Baron right now. They can just force a fight here underneath this turret because Casante's coming in from the mid lane. They have a good flank to kind of really corral and just end this game.
It's ZDZ now. He's moved over to the mid lane and says, okay, cool. Next super minions here. And someone like Cube can do some decent wave clearing business, but it's just so hard to do that again at this point in the game against that kind of push in. You can see that the ultimates are available. They're just going to chip down the turret again, see how much they can get.
I mean, this is nothing you can do. There's just nothing. XiaoHao moving forward, unafraid, unperturbed, pops down the crescent guard because he knows he can just survive that. That's 2 inhibs. We talk about how taking 1 inhib early can lead to maybe some complications. You're losing a stream of income. 2 inhibs down, though, for the side of OMG is a problem. That is a major, major problem. And then they can just reset, go for the Baron, go for the Dragon, do whatever the hell they want, spend the rest of their gold. This game, I hate saying this because it doesn't really feel like it's fair all the time, but I mean, this game is done, Nymeara. It is 21 minutes and it's a 12,000 gold lead.
If you're ever going to say a game is done, this is the one. And you're right, this is getting out of hand. There are now 2 inhibitors gone. The blockade has been put up in front of the base, and they're being held in their own jungle by ZDZ, who's there at an item and a half. They can't kill him in time. He doesn't even need to look for a fight. He just needs to be annoying, which is exactly what he's doing. Xiaohu's doing the same. Baron's going down a little slowly, but it's definitely going down.
It is definitely going down, but they're actually resetting off of this because Cube gets brought into the pit now and just says, hello, welcome to the other 5 members of this team. And Baron to boot, special guest. And ZDZ, he wants more. He wants a little bit of a Q3 to go in. The arrow lands onto the backside, which means that Angel can't even really help his team. They're throwing everything in the kitchen sink onto everything that Weibo can do, and it's still not enough. Weibo will lick their wounds a little bit and get themselves back to the base. They'll go for the Dragon. They'll go for the base. I mean, they're just having fun. That's just the best way it is. As OMG, I think you are looking at game number 2 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you are. I think you're looking at booking a therapist appointment too, because this one's, it's not particularly happy times. Trying to shake off that kind of early game. I guess in some ways, you look at this OMG and you say, look, as soon as that bot lane play happened, this game was likely over. Just take whatever comes to it. We'll be opportunistic, but let's not, like, lose our minds over it. I hope they can recover from that one and make a series of this. Yeah, but, really good pullover from ZDZ. Of course, Muda doesn't have ability to cross walls and doesn't even take flash, so even when that's, even when all of his summons available.
When he's in, he's in.
When he's in, he's very much there. Now he gets us back towards the Baron. Again, things have not gotten easier for OMG. They're not on the same side of the map now. Able is still clearing minions on top side. You see that Angel, he's teleporting towards the Dragon because they know that they can't defend the Baron. They're trying to get the most basic of consolation prizes. It would be a single objective and an objective bounty for them, but at what cost?
The cost of a Baron costs your teleport. It will take away my Xiaohu.
The perfect, not Xiaohu.
The perfect Xiaohu thing. They will get a Dragon, of course. But I mean, this is over at the best of things. But ooh, the arrow gonna hit? It will not hit anybody. It will not hit anybody. But the base is being sieged. You have all of the void buffs you could possibly want. And this is almost certainly going to be the end of the game. We'll see what OMG can do to try and defend.
Not very much. They have 6 grubs, they have infinite amounts of damage and range, and they're going in.
They're going in. They want the kills. The quickness comes in from Ppgod to try and do something, but that something is not a lot, if I'm being totally honest. They will just try and deal with as much as they can, but in 24 minutes, Weibo absolutely destroy OMG in game number 1.
The hardest thing about this game is actually choosing an MVP now. There is an argument for, I think, Crisp in terms of winning the early levels and leveraging it so well is up there. I think I'd give it over to XiaoHao though. The fact that he went down towards bot side, knew that he needed to be there to close out the game, and then continually was on the front foot after that point. I was really impressed by how he ended up playing out. Not just the first clear of that game, but just beyond that too. It was absolutely insane, and OMG, you just gotta hope the mental's not rocked from that. In fact, it's so dominant, you might even think it's easier to write that one off and just say, look, it was over from the first few minutes, and hope they can bounce back.
Honestly. Well, we're going to send to a quick break. As much as we're in, we're out, and we're going to come back